What's poppin', pilot people? Sean here. And guess what we got? 2.5 gallon tank. You know what that means? Pico tank. So you heard what I said. We're doing a Pico Reef. This is a 2.5 gallon rimless aquarium. Got it from Petco. It is an Aqueon rimless glass tank. So this is what we're going to use for the tank. This is going to sit on my desk. And we also got a thick piece of acrylic left over from the frag tank build. Now this is a 1/4 inch piece of acrylic, and we're using this for the lid. Because Pico tanks, they'll evaporate really quickly, and the salinity, they'll have a large salinity swing. So a top for your Pico tank is a necessity. Now you're also going to need filtration. So I got this AquaClear 30 left over from other aquariums, and it's a perfect size to fit a small little Aqueon heater in. So one of those little Aqueon heaters. This keeps it up to 78 degrees, so perfect for a reef tank. And I also have just a little sponge in there as well. So this will, and I'm also going to stuff this full of marine pure spears as well for the biological filtration. And yes, that's the filtration side of it. Now for the light, I had one of these cheap Chinese lights. This is Aquanite, one of those Hypogero lights from Amazon. It was like 60 bucks. So I'm going to be using one of them for this small tank. Now I also built this little wooden stand to hold it with a piece of duct tape on it because it's not very sturdy. It's a budget tank, so it'll be fine. And I also got some sand and some rocks from my reef that's been sitting in the sump for a long time, so it's nice cured rock full of pods and amphipods and everything like that. So let's get setting it up. Alright, so we're starting with sand. This sand came from my, what is it, 7-month-old reef. So it's cured, full of bacteria, and it's pretty much live sand. So we're going to toss this in here and get it started. So now that the sand's in, we're going to start putting some rocks in. And these rocks are nice and cured, full of bacteria and pods and other microorganisms. So we're just going to try and create just a small little structure to place some easy to keep corals on there, like zoanthids, mushrooms, maybe some rock flowers, simple stuff, some leathers maybe. So now that we got the rocks all in, a little sloping scape, we're going to put the filter on now. And it's just an AquaClear 30. It fits this tank nice and well, and it will filter it nicely. Also, I'm going to throw some nice and cured marine pure spears. Now these are the knockoff version of the marine pure spears. They're on Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. You get a whole gallon full of them. They work well. So I'm just going to toss them in the back of the filter. This will do the biological filtration of this system. Boom. So there's that. Now it's time for some water. Now I'm going to be pulling water from my main display, and that will be enough to fill this, and I'm going to do a water change on my main display, so it kind of works out. And that's how I'll be doing the water changes on it. When I do a water change on the display, I'll pull the water from that display and put it in here. And that'll help keep it nice and fresh in here. So we're at my reef, and we're going to suck out some water to put in that tank. Actually, I'm so stupid, I can just drain it right into the tank and then slide it over, because it's so light. Alright, now that it's all moved into place, we're gonna prime the filter. So you gotta fill it up with water. Should be enough, then you just gotta plug it in. There you go. Control the flow as well. It's too strong, but I think that'd be enough. Nice circulation going on in there. So now you're going to want to cover your tank. Now this is just a lid I made with a scrap acrylic. You're also going to want to cover your filter as well. This will help prevent evaporation and salinity swings, so your tank will be more stable. Also, you're going to want to get a little digital thermometer or a regular standard one, and this will help ensure that your tank is at the right temperature. Now that we got this baby filled with the rocks in, the sands, and the light, temperature controller, filter media, filter, heater, everything we need to get up and running, now it's time to turn the light on. Boom. There you go. That's a 2.5 gallon Pico. Now we're going to let this baby run all night, come back in the morning, throw some corals in there. Let's give it some time. Good morning! It is the next day. Pico Reef's been sitting there all night, looking nice and purty. We're gonna try and catch some rock flower nems thrown in this baby. Check this out, come closer. So these rock flower nems I have in here, they're behind all the Duncan frags I got. If you poke them, they're like attached to the bottom glass. So if you poke them, they like go under the sand bed. Boonk, he's gone. So yeah, thought that was pretty interesting. So let's collect these guys. So we successfully got these rock flowers off the bottom of my tank. Now we're going to throw them in the Pico. So this lid is actually holding a lot of the evaporation in, so that's good, keeping the salinity nice and stable, so it seems to be doing its job. Now, I'm going to place these up in the front. So now these anemones, these rock flower anemones are in here. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. They're gonna wander around and find a nice spot, so it doesn't really matter that I place them there. They're gonna find whatever feels comfortable to them. And we'll go get some more corals. So what we're doing here, we just had a big rock of purple star polyps. So that's a nice, easy, soft coral for the Pico. We also got some green star polyps in there. We're gonna throw in there as well. Place it down over there as we overflow. Now it's important with GSP that if you don't want it to cover your whole rock work, not to have it touching other rocks. Such an invasive coral. So here's what we added. We added a little kind of tree frag. That's a perfect soft coral for this Pico Reef. And pulsing xenia right there on that rock right there. A little bit of pulsing xenia frag, just to test out this Pico Reef, and a bunch of GSP. We also add a little bit of some little zoas in there as well. Now I'm not gonna stock it too much, just to see how it does in the next week or so, and then slowly stock this Pico Reef out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tune back in another time to see the update on this Pico Reef and see what I stock in it. Soon we're gonna get a little tiny nanofish for this 2.5 gallon Pico Reef. For now, polyp out.